It's been one hell of a season, though. I mean, there's still a chance it's going to come down to final two games. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the In the Dome podcast. Okay, so Flames, they go, since the last recording, 3-0-1. These are all must-win games. You let the Ducks one slip away from you, unfortunately. I like you posted this right after the game. It was the Anaheim Ducks broadcast. And they're like, they had a 2-goal lead late. Was it 5 minutes left in the game?
Yeah, like 4 even, I think.
And the Anaheim broadcast like, oh, and this Flames team really knows how to defend well and shut it down. Oh, they score.
Really,
5 seconds later.
You know they can shut it down with the 2-goal lead. Scores!
And scores again 5 seconds later.
It's like, yeah, tell me you don't watch Flames hockey without telling me.
Unfortunately, it could come down to that. There's so many points in the season. I mean, I know we've talked about this lots on the show. I polled the fan base, asking them if Heska has better OT lineup decisions, because you've seen it time and time again, just rolling out with Kadri Huberdeau, even though it has never really worked. I mean, we were on to this, before halfway into the season, posting their actual numbers not very good together, 3-on-3 overtime. Yet Huska continues to go back to that well when there's been proven other solutions that have worked, aka Matthew Coronado and Backlund scoring a franchise-setting quickest goal ever in overtime, 7 seconds in. Zari, Pospisil, game 1 of the season. So I pulled the fan base, said how many more points would we have right now if Huska made better OT line decisions or started playing Dustin Wolf even earlier in the season. Because I mean, what was it? I want to say it was even before halfway through the season when he's like, yeah, we're still waiting for one guy to separate.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at their numbers, Dustin Wolf's having like a Vezina caliber season. Huska's riding Wolf into the sunset, which is great now. But what if he caught onto this trend even 5 games sooner? Would you not have 1 or 2 more points? If you had better OT line decisions, would you not have 1 or 2 more points?
Well, the OT one is what's killing you. And I think that extends further from just OT and more into the, okay, let's get a point thing, right? But we talked about this last week. Like, I think he thinks they have to play a certain way to win and pick up points. Maybe that's true. I don't know if that's true, but shut it down in the third period. Maybe when you have a chance to go for it and really lock it down. If you have a 1-goal lead, or if it's a tie game, you're playing for an overtime point. And then you haven't been very good in overtime this year. So even if you get 2 or 3 more points, this thing would have been a done deal.
The results of that poll, if you're curious, 49.8% of the fan base think you'd have 4 to 8 more points. That would be enough to get you in the playoffs. 30.8% believe you would have 2 to 4 more points. That would also be enough to likely get you into the playoffs. 12.2%, the delusional ones, don't think you'd have any more points at all. And then 7.2% think you have as many as 8 to 12 more points. I think it's safe to say you would have at least 2 more points. Most likely you'd have probably 5 more points.
Yeah, well, even if it's 2. Well, what are they? I think they're the only, if they make the playoffs, they will be the only playoff team with double-digit OT losses. Because they currently have 14. The next highest would be, I think LA has 9 and Vegas has 9. And that rings true in the East as well. Unless Montreal makes it, they have 10 OT losses. So the Flames really have, any way you slice it, squandered points in overtime and shootouts. So it's
been one hell of a season, though. I mean, Like, in all honesty, you're sitting here, you're game 80. After 80 games played, you're still, and even last week, because it was looking more bleak at the start of last week, wasn't it? You're like,
Oh yeah, well the Blues
this
were on
season.
that. Blues were like, they looked totally uncatchable. They just wouldn't. The fucking 12-game winning streak, they couldn't be stopped. The Flames, that was kind of that stretch where they couldn't beat Dallas, had those bad goal calls against Dallas and Utah.
Or shit, yeah.
I mean, and even this week, it's still been up and down. I know they're 3-0-1 in their last 4, but it's still been like lose one, win one, lose one, win one for a while here, until they beat the Sharks in Minnesota back-to-back. But it still has been kind of like, they lost. They lost the game against Anaheim. It's pretty much done deal. Even when they lost the game against Vegas, even when they lost the game against Utah or Dallas, you're just like, yeah, like that's the dagger. They keep bouncing back, and they're somehow right in this thing. It's crazy.
And then, fuck, man, the Canucks have a 2-0 lead on the Wild. Shit the bed after that.
Yeah.
They didn't look good, man. I watched most of that game. You're just like, who do they have left? Besser
They're
looks like a
fucking
shell of
pathetic.
himself. Pedersen, I don't think I even noticed him once. Yeah. Can't count on the Canucks.
Can never count on, like, even throughout history, man. You can never count on them ever to do anything. They've always been a what? They've always been flaky.
So there's still a chance. St. Louis loses in a shootout to Seattle the other night. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, you play the Vegas Golden Knights. It's their last game of the season, but they've already clinched the division. History will tell me they'll probably rest a few guys, probably put their backup in net. So maybe the Flames could take advantage. At least they're not playing in Vegas. The last home game against Vegas was a great game, great finish. Flames almost stole 2 points out of that one too. So it's going to come down to final 2 games. Wild play the Utah Hockey Club, and the Blues play the Ducks. Or is it the reverse?
Fuck, dude. Why do they have to get the E? Why? Can somebody give me? Can we just catch a break?
Is it the other way around? Do the Wild play the Ducks?
St. Louis is playing Utah, and the Wild are playing the Ducks. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, the Ducks. They've showed that they got some skill. They got some pop. So
hey, they almost have as many wins as we do. They're not a pushover.
When those young guys are playing loosey-goosey, you never know. Like, they might. I mean, the Minnesota Wild don't look that great. They got Eriksson Ek and Kaprizov back for that first game against the Sharks, and they look like they could outscore anybody. But I mean, would they have like 6 goals combined?
They had to beat the Sharks. They had to score 8 goals to beat the Sharks.
Again, you're watching that game as a Flames fan. You're just like, oh, fuck, here we go. Sharks are going to beat them. And then it's this back and forth seesaw. 7-6 was the final?
8-7.
8-7. Fuck,
it was 8-7.
I watched that power play Kaprizov game where it just fucking dagger. I'm just like, why am I watching other teams? This is so painful. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime winner is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Well, I hate having to rely on other people for help. It's sad.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. You're just kind of like and they can never come through either.
No,
it's like they never come through. It's like
it's bad enough
happens.
It's bad enough having to watch my own team lose. I don't want to watch the team that needs to beat the team for us to have success lose.
It's funny because you get sucked into like the problems that it's like we have our own problems that we have to watch our own team lose. Then you go watch the Minnesota Wild play, and you kind of get sucked into like you're right there with their fans. You're like, these guys fucking suck. What is with these guys? Man, this team blows, dude. And same with Vancouver. You're like watching that game the other night, being like, man, these guys absolutely suck. What a pathetic display this is.
Exactly. God, these guys stink. Can't believe I'm cheering for these guys.
It's so bad. But yeah, even you had that 3-game consecutive where the Wild like have to outscore, like put up 8 on the Sharks to beat them. And then we beat them. Then Vancouver's up 2-0. You're like, holy fuck. You had that, like, there was a 5-minute span there where I was like, holy fuck, we might actually be able to pull this shit off, dude.
Yeah. But nope.
But Vancouver just had to shit the bed.
This show was a presentation of Bet365. That first game against the Sharks this week, you're down 1-0 late in the third. Klapka the monster with a monster goal off a Calgary rebound. Shortly after that, they score again. Frost, looked like Frost scored, but he didn't. It goes off Huberdeau. He gets credit for that one. Frost hasn't scored since when? How many games?
What, 25 now?
Dude, that's remarkably brutal.
That's crazy. His last goal was that sweet goal against was it against Seattle? Where he roofed it? Or no, he scored it was against it was. It was that sweet Seattle goal. Frick, dude.
It seems like forever ago.
It is. It was in March.
Man. 25
games.
That's a long time to go without scoring.
I don't know what's going on with the old Frost dog. It does appear he maybe went to the Backlund School of Finishing. Let's be honest. He gets a lot of chances that it's like, oh, Frost with a great chance, and it's like wide by 10 feet. So I think that is a real thing.
We talked about this in the last episode, comparing him and Farabee to Pelche and Kuzmenko. But making the point that probably the bigger argument is just the systems they have these guys playing. They've been scoring more goals as of late, though.
Yeah, you know what? This is what is maybe the most frustrating thing about the Blues going on that heater. It was beyond a heater. It was a insane run. Is that the Flames have played their best hockey? Because I remember we were looking at the end of March or at the end of February, kind of like early March, we were looking at their numbers and it was just like, holy shit, dude. Like, this is abysmal. Like, we went through it on the show. It was like they were like dead last in every category. They were playing absolutely shit hockey. And we were like, yeah, this is. And then Backlund got hurt. It was like, yeah, shades of things to come here. Like, it's tank time. They got shit canned by the Leafs and the Avs. Then they blew that game to Seattle, and it was just kind of like, oh man, here. And then they've turned it around. They've played their best hockey. They've been scoring.
They're playing their
goals.
best hockey.
They've
been
controlling play. They've been actually pretty.
Dustin Wolf is still doing his thing again.
Exactly. So it's a shame because they have kicked it into gear and they have got not hot. And I guess, like they haven't got hot enough, right? Because they still haven't gone on every team who kind of ends up getting into the playoffs usually goes on like, an 8-1-1 or a 9-1, something like that. A pretty significant heater. The Flames haven't been able to string that kind of streak together, but they have been playing great hockey, getting contributions from a lot of pretty much everyone. Guys like Sharangovich is it salmon? Did you hear this? He changed his pregame meal from chicken to salmon and risotto, and now he's like he's totally fucking awesome again. 4
goals in 3 games. Yeah, he's been way better as of late.
So they're playing good hockey. Everybody's contributing. They're scoring some freaking goals here. They're the only team who when they score 4 or more goals are undefeated, which shows you just how solid and reliable the goaltending has been. And if they had been able to juice out 10, 12, 15 more goals this year, there's another thing. How many more points would you have? So
yeah, they're 15-0-0 when scoring 4 or more goals.
Yeah, the undefeated, only team in their goalies. Wolf has been
so Huska had almost right.
So solid.
You don't need 3 goals to win. You need 4.
You just need
4 goals is the magic number. Huska.
He was close.
You were close. You were sniffing up the wrong tree. You were there though. Let's get into it.
Maybe just maybe this great defenseman could help them win a hockey game.
We were doing Afterburn last night, and I think I spent the majority of the game just fucking arguing with Flames fans about Zayne Parekh. What if he comes in and has an immediate impact? I think that's where a lot of the frustration lies. It's like you're sitting there and telling us that there's zero possibility of him coming in and having an immediate impact and helping this team win games right away. And I think that's where the frustration of the fan base is. It's like, we don't buy that. You've seen this league trending towards younger players. You see these other coaches and GMs stating the exact same thing and putting these young guys in right away. You've seen it with Makar. You've seen it with other players. You tell me that that's out of the realm of possibility that he couldn't come in and have an immediate impact?
Well, and even if he doesn't have an immediate impact, what's the downside of giving him a few games here? You know, like that's the other side of the argument that I don't necessarily agree with, which is like I don't think that not playing him, I don't think this experience is necessarily hurting him at all. Like being around the team is great.
Yep.
Being around guys like Kadri, Uyghur, Coleman, these guys with pedigree, like that's great. Just being in the building when these games are meaningful, I think that's cool. But like, think about the experience for him if he were actually to play in some of these games. If you're a guy like Zayne Parekh, because like I said, it's not just some run of the mill like B level. Even okay, he's a first round. He's like one of the most highly prestigious. Like a lot of people, if you're looking at last year as a redraft, a lot of people are picking him.
Yeah,
like right in the top 5, man. This is one of the most
he was
distinguished.
A steal at 9. Steal
totally.
At 9, dude.
And then he had the year he had this year, you know, and it's just he's not ordinary, right? And to get him in some,
it's not like he's just some second rounder had a great season in junior.
Exactly. It's just like he's had one of the most prolific junior careers of all time.
And we've seen players like this in the past, 5 to 10 seasons come in and have an immediate impact. So it's just like, I think, the biggest frustration is when you get guys like Francis coming on there and telling the fans how stupid they are. It boils everybody's blood because we're probably right and he's probably wrong.
Well, and you think about his confidence too, because this is again, it's always the same dumb shit you hear. Actually, playing in the NHL is different than playing in the OHL. Actually, he might make a mistake. If you think that putting a player in the NHL from junior is a good idea, you're actually a total fucking idiot. It's just like all these stupid Reddit takes you've heard a million times. You heard this thing about his confidence, right? It's like, well, what if he goes in and makes a mistake and he has to sit with that all summer? What if he makes a mistake? Yeah, you're going to make a fucking mistake. It's hockey. But to me, like if you're telling a guy, okay, which
would this team defend? It's mistake central.
Exactly. He'd fit right in if he made a mistake. If he made 20 mistakes, he'd probably make the least amount of mistakes of any defender on the team. Did you watch that first period last night where they got dominated by the San Jose Sharks? You're telling me Zayne Parekh, I don't care if he's 15 years old, he could probably hang with playing against the San Jose Sharks, for crying out loud. But, this confidence thing, like, which to you sounds more like inspiring of confidence with a player like this, with how today's players think and how they act and just how they respond to different things? Which sounds more inspiring of confidence? Okay, we're not going to play you because, like, you might fuck up, okay? We don't want you to fuck up, because if you fuck up and you screw up our playoff chances, it's your fault. And you're going to have to sit there all summer and think about that. And you're going to have no confidence left because we're going to have to punish you. And you can't play after that. So we don't want you in there because you don't want to make mistakes. Or, hey, you're a great player and you're coming into our team. We think you can be a big part of our team. We think you can help our team. Here's how we think you can help our team. This in this way, that way, this way. We think your skill set is super unique and it's something we need right now. Hey, you make some mistakes. That's going to happen. It's hockey. Go play your game, son. Like, I think that's obviously it's a lot less simple than just one or the other, but that's I just hate that confidence. Oh, what if he makes a mistake thing? Like, we heard this with Wolf, dude. We fucking heard this with Dustin Wolf even this year. It was more so last year. Remember, he played that game against the Sharks and he got kind of shelled, and I think he got sent back down right after. But everybody was like, "Oh, he's devastated. How's he ever gonna recover?
Look at his post game. Oh.
Look at his body language post-game, his confidence. You can't put him in some of these games. You got to protect him." Like, stop bubble wrapping these guys. These guys are fucking beasts nowadays.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.